What's going on, rock stars? Welcome back to another. Let me start over again. I'm stumbling on my words. What's going on, rock stars? Welcome back to another episode of the 1% Life. I'm your host, peak performance coach and trainer to the 1%, JoanieDhillon. Let me know that you're in here and watching this live. For those of you on Facebook, where you're tuning in from. And if it's your first time listening, put a 1 in the comments. And if you've been here before and you continue to be a loyal listener of the show, put a 2 in the comments and welcome back. So Rockstars, we are continuing on with our series, which I know we took a little break in between to record an episode for you that was really calling me, which was Games Are Won in the Fourth Quarter. If you heard that episode or watched me here on the Facebook, so let me know that you heard it. If not, definitely go back and listen to it. It was the episode right before this one. I don't know, I think it was episode 145, maybe 146. Nonetheless, go back and listen to it if you want to win. Hit your goals from now until the end of the year. And speaking of which, we want to support you in doing that. And what my team and I are doing, I'm so pumped about, super excited. On October 19th, it's like right around the corner, we're launching our first ever Get Primed Challenge. That's a challenge where we're going to help you tap into the power of your subconscious mind. And that's the part of your mind, for those of you who've been following me for any length of time, that you know is responsible for you getting results, getting the goals that you set with your conscious mind to achieve. And I'm going to actually show you and teach you my 6-step Get Primed methodology so that you can really begin to up-level your sales performance and break through the proverbial ceiling of what you thought you were capable of. And if you're like many people, you're trying to make up for lost time right now. And you're trying to make up for those sales that maybe you missed over the few months that you weren't working, or people were just going through this, crazy period in time. And they're kind of still there, many of them right now, but we're going to help you get through all of that and help you overcome any objections and all the stuff that's going on in your mind around why you can or cannot sell and why you can or cannot get to that next level. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Go to getprimedchallenge.com. The link's probably in here if you're watching it somewhere live. Get Primed with a D on the end, challenge.com. I'm feel really thrown off right now for those of you watching me, because I'm in a totally different environment. I'm not used to a white wall behind me. I feel like I'm, at a photo shoot, and I'm not at a photo shoot. So I'm in my new office here, and we got to put some stuff on these bare walls. They're looking a little bare, and don't have my microphone. It's not my normal podcasting setup. I'm a little thrown off. So we're going to make up for that by giving you some good content. How about that? By the way, if you joined the challenge already, let us know in the chat, and we want to welcome you in. All right, so here's what we're talking about. The continuance of this episode, or this mini series, is on small tweaks to your sales that can have a huge impact on your bottom line. This is episode part 3 again. So go back and listen to episode 2 and 1 after this episode. You don't need to listen to them in any particular order. So Rockstar, today's episode is for you if you really want to start selling bigger deals. You want to sell more so you can earn more and make more, right? I mean, ultimately, that's what it's all about, as well as helping other people get to their goals and the things that they want to achieve in their lives, whatever specifically that is, for whatever you do. And if you feel like your income has taken a hit this year and you want to climb back up, or perhaps surpass where you thought you would be at by now, like really fly past it, then this episode is for you. So if you're here to crunch time right now, from now until the end of the year, stay tuned, because I'm going to share with you a couple powerful tips that will help you do just that. So in episode 45, we talked about adding on sales, right? Or as I call it, bumping the sale, or just bump it. And this is also just another way of saying an upsell. How do you take what you're selling and then upsell them into something greater? So for example, this incredible the challenge that we're launching, the Get Prime Challenge. We're giving literally a 7-day experience with me coaching you live for 7 days. I mean, obviously not 24 hours a day, but 1 to 2 hours a day on different topics. I'm teaching you specifically my 6-step Get Primed methodology that has taken people from the verge of termination, from broke and not selling, underpaid, to the top 1% of their industry in record time. And I'm doing that for free. Like, anybody can join this challenge for free, no matter what it is that you sell, what it is that you do, what you coach, what if you sell your own products or someone else's, it doesn't matter. But then what we do on the back end, once somebody opts into this challenge, is I want to give people an opportunity to get additional value, right? So additional value, how can we enhance their experience? And so what my team and I decided we would do is that we decided to offer a backstage pass or a VIP option to this free, which is worth thousands of dollars, online experience. And you know that because if you've joined one of my past challenges, you may have been one of the people who earned $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000. Heck, we've had people make over $70,000 in a single month. We had a gal have, I think it was a $1.5 million sales day in real estate last challenge. It was just incredible. So those are things that are all possible for you. And what I wanted to do is, what could I do to add additional value to enhance the experience of this challenge? So we thought, let's give them a backstage pass. They can join me backstage on video, right? Not just watching it in the Facebook group like you may be watching or listening to it now. And they'll be able to get access to a couple additional bonus sessions. Maybe I'm staying late after, or I'm doing an additional session on value creation, on creating scarcity and urgency in sales at the back end of the challenge. And so for me, I was like, man, how can we make it such a no-brainer of an upsell? And not that your upsell has to be a no-brainer. I just wanted mine to be. So we were like, $47. Who would say no to that, right? If they weren't willing to invest into themselves, perhaps not. But those who saw the additional value and just the one nugget that they could glean from this would say, heck, yes, sign me up, right? So I wanted to put that in your head, and apparently the computer agrees. So I wanted to put that in your head because when you think of, if you listen to that episode 45, and you're thinking about all the ways that you can bump your sale, well, those are some particular ways. One particular way in which you can is think about, what additional piece of value can I give to add on, or as we call upsell. I just call it, how do you bump the sale, right? I'm from the world of timeshares. We call it bump it, just bump that deal, right? And so that was one thing that we talked about in that episode. If you do want more on that, go back and listen to episode 145. We also talked about, once you have the yes, how much easier it is for you to bump it or to upsell, just like I expressed to you in our challenge. They're ready for this challenge. They've read through our sales page, our copy, they've seen my video. They're like, holy cow, yes, I want to sell more than I've ever sold before this month. I want to crush my goals in 2020. I want to do all of these things, and I want to learn how to do it, tapping into the power of my subconscious mind, that part of my mind that actually gets me results, as opposed to what I've been working with, which hasn't been getting me results, most likely. So it's easy to bump once you have the yes. And then we also talked about the concept of bundling your products and services together and knowing your numbers. So those are all available to you. I want to make sure that you have everything at your fingertips to really go out and make this an incredible month. As we used to say in the timeshare world, Rocktober, right? That's right, Rocktober, that's here for you. So go back and listen to that. Today I want to talk to you about another tweak that you want to just begin doing, like today. And more than an actual physical tweak, for example, to your process, it's more of a mental tweak. And what it is it's justifying your price. The simplest way to increase your average selling price is to avoid price discounting. Stop discounting your product and bottoming out. We call it bottoming out. Like, what's the lowest thing I can sell it for, and selling it for that. And what happens is, I want you to think about, if this is the case for you, how quick are you to drop the price? How quick are you to say, oh, well, we can do this for you? And when somebody starts complaining, for example, but really it's just communicating some perhaps concern because they have not yet seen the value for them, right, at that price point. What if you were to do something different? What if you were to actually justify your price? See, my old director of sales actually was my VP of sales, and one of my mentors to this day, I call him Fatty, he would always say, look, whatever the interest rate is, we'd give horrible interest rates, with interest rates were not so good. Sometimes their interest rates were upwards of, like, depending on their credit, 19%, 19.9. I mean, it was just crazy, right? And it was like, how can we justify that interest rate so that it becomes such a no-brainer for them? Well, as opposed to paying 100% interest, what if all they had to do was pay 19% interest or 17% interest, right? And that's the benefit of justifying your interest rate. I'm like literally throwing cookies at my dog right now because he's about to start barking on this podcast. So if you see me throwing stuff, that's what's happening. So rockstars, are you justifying your price? Are you justifying your financing options? Are you justifying the value that is inside your product, inside your program, inside your service? And if you're not, could that potentially allow you to increase your sales price because you're holding true to what it is that you do, what it is that you provide and serve your customers, your clients, right? I like to call them clients. I feel like customers is very transactional and a one-off thing. Like, let's call them clients. They're loyal to you. They're going to be loyal to you. So this mindset shift of justifying price is a very powerful one that when you it's the same reason why, like when I say it's a mindset shift, the same shift exists in your mind that is stopping most people from selling bigger deals. It's a mindset problem. There's a mindset, there's a belief that's causing you to believe that you cannot sell bigger deals, or a belief that you cannot increase your closing percentage, or a belief that you cannot, sell greater value for a higher price, right? Or sell the same value, what you have now, for a higher price. Because maybe you're underpriced right now. And all of that is simply a mindset problem. And I really like to call it, it's for many people, it's actually an identity problem. There's something deeper there. And we go into this really deep inside the Get Prime Challenge, where we talk about your current identity and how that's causing you to sell what you're selling and not perhaps reaching that next level of success, not closing at a percentage that you actually want to be closing at. See, many people believe that they could be doing better, but they don't know how to do better. It's not always a tactical solution. It's not always a strategic solution. It's often first 90% mindset, 10% skill set. And that mindset, I believe, is actually brain set, because it's based on identity, which is all created at the subconscious level. We go into this in the Get Prime Challenge, which please join us at getprimedchallenge.com. We start on the 19th of October. So this concept of really believing that you will only sell what and who you believe you are. If you believe that you're a 10% closer, you're always going to sell 1 out of 10 individuals. If you believe you're a 20%, 30%, 40%, 70% closer, heck, I know that there are people out here selling, including myself, who are capable of getting on a phone call with somebody and selling, 8 out of 10 people, 9 out of 10 people, if the trust is there and the service and the value that's on the back end of this is there. There are people doing that. I know firsthand, okay? And you can be that too. But if you're only closing, 1 out of every 10 people, and you believe that, that's really where you're at, well, that's where you're going to stay. So there's a shift that needs to happen, and that's an internal shift inside at the identity level. We talk about how to do that inside the Get Primed Challenge. So Rockstar, really focus on justifying your price right now. Again, it's the simplest way to increase your average sales price, is to begin to justify. Anytime a potential buyer's like, oh, it's just too expensive, compared to what, right? Compared to the cost of holding on to the problem. This is where I'm going to do a deep dive on value on our bonus session inside the challenge as well, that I'd love for you to attend if you feel like you could use an enhancement on some value creation. So Rockstars, the other thing I wanted to mention on today's episode, when we're talking about small tweaks you can make, is I really love having competitions or contests with myself or my team. And those contests, you can set, right? If you're a solopreneur, for example, well, guess what? Maybe it's just you and your assistant. Maybe it's just you. So what if you were to have a contest just with yourself? And that contest is, okay, I'm focused on selling bigger deals, right? Okay, so I'm going to double my price, and I'm going to see how fast I can get that to actually come to fruition, meaning how many conversations do I have to have before I get a yes? I think I can do it on the first one. I think I can do it on this, maybe it's the next one. So one of the things I used to do in my when I was back in the timeshare world is that I'd have my no matter what goal, and then I'd have my stretch goal. And I talk about these again. We're going to train you really deeply on the no matter what and the stretch goal concept, and why it is that my customers are so consistent in achieving their goals pretty much every single month without fail, as long as they're doing this work right here that I'm talking about, the no matter what and the stretch goal, and aligning their subconscious mind with their conscious desires and intentions. Is that I would, in addition to those two goals, I would actually set what I call a run to goal. And this run to goal was a goal that was like getting me into momentum. It was getting me ready to, hit my no matter what goal. And it was an achievable win, right? The unconscious mind needs to win. It needs to win fast, and it needs to win often for you to continue building that snowball that hits your goal sooner than later. And I know each of you wants to really make up for lost time. And well, I'm pretty sure if you're like most people, you want to, if your sales were impacted, wouldn't it be nice to actually get them back and more, right? So this run to concept is something that I would say, okay, how fast can I run to $100,000 in sales? How fast can I do it? And at the first of the month, I'd say, okay, can I do it in like today? Can I go out there and sell a deal for $100,000? And if it didn't happen, it's like, all right, tomorrow, the next day. And I would just keep on doing that until I hit my run to goal. And this is actually something that we talk about in my mastermind, the 1%, with these ladies who are incredible industry, rock stars. And several of them really enjoy employing this run to concept of running to a particular goal. And you can do it too. So if you're watching me throw salmon treats at my dog right now, hearing him crunch in the background, you know what? Sometimes you just got to get it done and go for good enough and not perfection, right? So I wanted to talk to you about that run to, and what is it that you can set for yourself as a run to? And the run to is supposed to be like something that's just like such a no-brainer. It's like, oh my God, I can do that in my sleep. I can sell that in my sleep. I don't even have to be awake. I don't even have to be like totally functioning. It will happen. Maybe it's one sale for you within the next 7 days. Maybe it's, a certain package that you sell that you're like, I could sell that in my sleep. Maybe it's a certain program that you sell. What is your run to? Or it's like, I could sell 5 of these in this period of time, and that's just such an obvious no-brainer for me. That's your run to. And so for the reason that I'm sharing that with you is that these are different contests that you can have with your sales team or individually, and train and really focus on training your team. If you have a team, train your team to sell bigger deals. People won't sell bigger deals unless they're trained to sell bigger deals. Back in the timeshare world, it's like, I can't tell you how many people I talk to like every day who say, well, my manager won't let me sell deals that big. My manager just says, go, just get them in the door. I'm like, God, they're doing them such a huge disservice by just getting them in the door when the value is at the higher levels. And this is where you get frustrated owners, because somebody just let them in the door instead of saying, nope, you know what? Don't even buy it if that's what you're going to buy, because you're not going to be served based on your goals and your intentions. So really, begin to train your sales team, train people who support you in focusing on what it means to actually sell big deals, to create the value to get them, and wrapping their mindset, or as I call brain set, around actually achieving those bigger deals. It starts here first. The strategy, yes, it matters. The tactics, of course, it kind of matters, right? There's this whole urgency concept. There's limiters that we put in place. There's all of that stuff, right? To really get the psychology of the human mind to say, oh my God, I want that. And not only do I want that, like now, I wanted that yesterday. So that's really important. So I wanted to share with you, like, create weekly or monthly sales challenges, focusing your sales team or a particular area, on a particular area or topic, or excuse me, on a program or service for like a week or a month, whatever that is, to generate upsells or to generate add-ons or to generate whatever it is, hit a particular goal, whether that's a dollar amount of a sale, like, okay, we're going to see who can sell, let's go for 20Ks this week. That's all we're doing, is selling $20,000 programs or prices or packages, or our upper level mastermind, or perhaps it's just a specific program in general that maybe you don't always sell. So that's just those are some tips and techniques that you can use, to small tweaks, really, if you think about it, to really begin to sell more and sell bigger deals, increasing your average sales price. So have a run to train your sales team to focus on getting bigger deals, create weekly or monthly challenges, or even a challenge by the day. We used to do spiffs in the industry where you would give a dollar prize out or something, like for somebody who sold a certain, option or vacation ownership program. And those are things that you can all do internally within your sales teams, within your business, whatever it is for you. And let's see, what else did I talk about today? Justify the price. Oh my goodness, almost forgot. Justify the price and stop looking for reasons to invalidate the price. Your price is your price for a reason. So what's the value that supports that price? What's the value that you give that means that you should never lower that price? So that once they get it, right, like people they don't want to be ripped off. Once they understand value, then they understand value, and it's your job to learn how specifically to communicate that said value to them. And one of the things that we're really focusing on teaching in the Get Prime Challenge is a concept called influence, and how influence and being able to persuade and influence using your words is the most powerful tool, I believe, that any individual on this planet can have. Because if you're not constantly enrolling people in your mission, in your vision, whether it's your children, your significant other, your potential clients, into what it is that you do, then you're lacking all the skills to get what you want, and you're not going out there creating real impact and change in the world. So Rockstars, influence is everything. We'd love to have you join us if you feel that you will get value from this challenge, which I know that you will. And we'd love to help serve you. I'm here to help you and coach you every single day, starting on the 19th. So go ahead and join us at Get Primed Challenge. That's like primed, like prime your mind. We're talking about how to prime your mind for success, how to prime your mind so you can have your biggest breakthroughs that you've ever experienced in sales. And I'd love to have you do that during the 7 days while you are with us in this challenge. And anybody else that you know, go ahead and send them on over. So Rockstars, we'll see you on the inside. If you got values from today's episode, take a screenshot, share it out on the gram at JoanieDhillon. Dhillon is where you'll find me, or on Facebook. And get out there and make it an incredible day and be unstoppable. Let me know what your biggest takeaways were. You can leave us a review, a rating and review if you got value from today. 5 stars is certainly preferred, as that helps us reach more people out there, and a review letting us know what you loved and what you want more of. All right, Rockstars, until next time, let me know if you want me to continue this series on how to improve your sales if you got value from it. All right, Rockstars, we'll see you next time. Peace.